Hello and welcome to a fresh edition of Rising Borno, where we keep you to speed with happenings and trends in Borno State under the leadership of Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum. My name is Dorcas Yakubuzala. Let's begin. The governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Zulum, has urged the army to deal with sympathizers and collaborators of terrorists ruthlessly. He stressed that they are more dangerous than Boko Haram and ISWAP insurgents. He stated this during the combined Chief of Army Staff and Chief of Air Staff Sallah luncheon held in Maiduguri. Governor Zulum commended the military's support to its civilian JTF, vigilante and hunters, including other sister security agencies, in the fight against terrorism in the Northeast region. The governor donated 100 million naira to wounded troops and families of fallen heroes.
It is with deep appreciation and a profound sense of solidarity that I join you all today on this special occasion of the Chief of Army Staff's Sallah luncheon with our gallant troops. Indeed, it is a combined Sallah luncheon, that of the Chief of Army Staff and that of the Chief of Air Staff. On behalf of the government and the resident people of Borno State, I extend heartfelt Sallah greetings to all officers and men of the Nigerian Army and the entire armed forces. This gathering is more than just a ceremonial lunch. It is a reminder of the unyielding courage, sacrifice, and dedication displayed daily by our troops in defending our sovereignty and restoring peace and stability to the Northeast and Nigeria in general. Let me use this opportunity to commiserate with the officers and men of the Nigerian Armed Forces over the recent loss of your colleagues while defending and protecting the lives and properties of our citizens. May their souls rest in perfect peace and their families bear the fortitude of these irreparable losses. May I also use this opportunity to sympathize with the wounded in action. Your commitment on the front lines, often under extreme conditions and far from your families, is not lost on us. We remain eternally grateful for your service and will never take your sacrifices for granted. I wish to particularly commend the leadership of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Olufemi Oluyede, and that of the Chief of Air Staff, Air Marshal H.B. Abubakar, for their vision and continued efforts to improve the welfare, morale, and operational readiness of the troops. Your leadership has brought renewed focus and energy to the counterinsurgency campaign. Borno State will continue to stand shoulder to shoulder with the Nigerian Army and all security agencies in the fight against insurgency and in rebuilding our communities for a peaceful and prosperous future. Let me use this opportunity to commend the theater commander, the MNJTF post commander, the GOC 7 Deep, Sector 3 Commander, Sector 2 Commander, Air Officer Commanding Tactical Air Command, as well as the head of the composite group, and officers and men of the Operation Hand in Kind, for your renewed commitment towards ending the insurgency.
We remain steadfast in our resolve to restore normalcy to the Northeast region. I am pleased to announce that our troops are highly motivated and committed to achieving the overall objectives of the mandate of the Joint Task Force Northeast Operation Hadinkai, which has remained to facilitate the restoration of normalcy in the Northeast region to enable socio-economic activities to thrive. Suffice to note that our mandate draws inspiration and aptly aligns with the well-articulated command philosophies of our service chiefs, which has indeed encouraged us to fight for more successes as we pledge to continue to work tirelessly. I wish to also assure you, sir, that we will not be complacent to avoid a reversal of the gains already made. Rather, we shall remain focused on your new charge to be more decisive and intensify efforts to bring the insurgency in the Northeast to an end in the shortest possible time. It is an all-out offensive for us. The Salah luncheon is an opportunity and privilege for the troops to celebrate Eid al-Kabir with our service chiefs, and I am confident that your presence among here today will further boost our morale and motivate the troops to do the needful. This year's Eid al-Kabir celebration also coincides with our gradual transition to wet season operations in the theater. As we embark on this transition, I assure our service chiefs of the unwavering commitment of our gallant forces to maintain the tempo of operations. The numerous interventions and provisions of assets as well as platforms by the service chiefs have also served as enormous capability and force boosters. We shall therefore continue to consolidate on our gains as well as charging the troops to remain resolute in decimating the adversary. It is instructive to mention that these recent interventions have aided the theater to achieve the recent successes which we have recorded in the joint operations area. In the last 2 weeks alone, over 100 terrorists have been neutralized, including 12 key terrorist leaders comprising Kates and Amirs. On the other hand, our air operations have also received additional impetus and has been quite lethal in the last 1 month, with several terrorists also taken out, as well as their critical assets and logistics. We are genuinely thankful and grateful for the interventions, sir. Permit me at this juncture to recognize and pay respect to our personnel who have been wounded in the course of our ongoing operations and are currently undergoing treatment at our hospitals both here in Maiduguri, Abuja, Kaduna, Kano, and outside the shores of Nigeria.
Governor Zulum has commended the agricultural initiatives of Vice President Kashim Shettima in Borno State. He praised the Vice President for launching Nasani Asset Restoration Program in the state. The program rehabilitated 375 tractors for agricultural activities, aiming to recover Nigeria's rusted assets worth trillions of naira. Vice President Kashim Shettima observed that Nigeria holds over 47,000 broken-down agricultural assets, with only 7,000 to 12,000 functional. He added that the country needs 2.4 million tractors to meet up food production. Meanwhile, Governor Zulum described the project as timely and strategic, highlighting the Vice President's past contributions to agricultural mechanization in Borno.
Let me use this opportunity to first and foremost bring to the kind notice of this gathering that these tractors were procured by my predecessor, Senator Kashim Shettima, when he was the executive governor of Borno State. He procured 1,000 tractors alongside with their implements. He did not stop in procuring 1,000 tractors, but he also procured 250 units of groundnut diggers, fertilizer broadcasters, rotovators and balers, and 25 units of combined harvesters. addition to this, we procured 10,000 numbers of 500 square meter drip irrigation kits, covering a total area of about 996 hectares. Furthermore, we procured 1 hectare capacity 100 number drip irrigation kits, 100 numbers of 200 square meter greenhouse nets. However, as a result of the insurgency, these assets were not being fully utilized during this tenure. And we inherited all these items assets from him. When we took over the mantle of leadership as the executive governor of Borno State, we couldn't do much. And unfortunately, during the last year's flood, these structures were submerged in water. And today, it is my singular honor and privilege to address this gathering on the occasion of the launching of the National Asset Restoration Program, aimed at recovering the government assets. That man is none other than my predecessor and our current Vice President, His Excellency Senator Kashi Shettima. At a time when it would have been politically fair to focus only on short-term interventions, he chose instead to make a long-term investment in the future of our people. This investment is the single largest agricultural machinery investment not only in Borno State but also in Nigeria. It's training as an agricultural economist shown through every policy and decision, and today that foresight is what has brought us here. The National Asset Restoration Program we are launching would not have been possible without that foundational investment. It is not just a moment of celebration. It is a powerful testimony to the importance of continuity in leadership. Mechanization remains the heartbeat of modern agriculture. According to FAO's recommended tractor density of 1.5 horsepower per hectare, Nigeria requires a minimum of 750,000 functional tractors to meet its agricultural needs. Yet less than 10% of that number are currently operational across the country. Here in Borno, our mechanization drive has faced serious setbacks, especially following the devastating floods of September last year, which damaged a significant number of agricultural machines. That is why today's intervention could not have come at a better time. The decision by NASENE to select Borno as the pilot state for the National Asset Restoration Program is both strategic and timely. It offers us a lifeline to revive damaged assets and restore the capacity of our farmers to cultivate efficiently. Through the tireless efforts of NASENE and its technical partner, NECA, these machines are being brought back to life at zero cost to the government and people of Borno State. This is very important. And we appreciate their commitment to making this vision a reality. As a government, we are fully committed to ensuring that these restored assets are properly maintained and put to optimal use. We are putting in place a sustainable maintenance framework that promotes accountability, encourages local ownership, and ensures long-term functionality. Our approach will guarantee that these machines remain active contributors to agricultural transformation across all our local government areas, serving as a reliable backbone for mechanized farming in Borno State.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for so long we have been profiled as a nation with poor maintenance culture. This dysfunction cut across both the private and public sectors, and we owe it to ourselves to say enough is enough. Enough of investing our scarce resources in ideas and projects that get abandoned halfway through. Enough of allowing our critical assets to lie in waste while we budget year after year for the problems they were procured to solve. This is why I'm excited about the purpose of this gathering. This initiative, Naseni Asset Restoration Program, is a response to a cross-generational dilemma about what to do with abundant and poorly maintained assets of the nation, of the people. It's a powerful shift in how we think about value, sustainability, and innovation. And I believe that's what we have promised the nation. The data at our disposal shows that Nigeria currently holds over 26,000 units of broken down but serviceable heavy-duty equipment and nearly 500,000 component scraps that can be restored or repurposed. This contrasts with the stark reality that we have only 7,000 to 12,000 functional tractors in a country that needs 2.4 million tractor units to meet our food production goals over the next decade. These figures are a reminder of what must be done, a reason to have a national inventory of value waiting to be unlocked. So we must commend Naseni through this asset restoration program for stepping forward with this brilliant promise, with these brilliant ideas to mitigate a national tragedy. Beyond this promise to republish hardware, Naseni has shown a great capacity to serve as a national lab center for technology transfer, homegrown engineering, and adaptive innovation. This is why we must support them. We have seen Naseni at work, playing critical roles in our interventions in compressed natural gas CNG retrofitting, renewable energy technologies, and agricultural mechanization. We are reminded more than ever that we can't create durable Nigerian solutions to Nigerian problems unless we localize global technologies, and relevant agencies must be supported to point us towards a stable nation and a promising future. The Asset Restoration Program is squarely within the broader vision of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration to build a productive, self-reliant, and diversified economy. Our goal, therefore, is to use this transition to expand the potential and productivity of Nigeria's agricultural, industrial, and creative sectors through smart investments in infrastructure, skills, and innovation. The executive chairman of Naseni, Mr. Khalid Suleiman Halil, has shown both vision and agency in our collective quest for solutions. The direction Naseni is headed is one driven by action, impact, innovation, and awareness of what the nation needs. It takes clarity of purpose to embark on a mission such as this. But my greatest recommendation is reserved for the governor of Borno State, who has shown the zeal, the passion, and the commitment to provide leadership to the state and country. And the Borno template of the relationship between a successor and predecessor has become a reference point in our national political discourse. But essentially, the strength of my relationship with the governor, greater credit should go to him, for his maturity and for his magnanimity. Thank you so much, Your Excellency. So, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, this initiative can't succeed without the public. You are the other half of the work, because if we restore these vital assets, we must all protect them. These machines, these tools, and these technologies are the property of each of you.
The Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum has facilitated the release of 66 prison inmates at the Maiduguri Maximum Correctional Service. He also marked the June 12 Democracy Day with the commissioning of 20 road projects and hospitals. In the early hours of the day, the Borno State Governor toured the Maiduguri metropolis to commission projects. He also commissioned and inspected construction project at Kaleri General Hospital and a 200-bed capacity orthopedic hospital, including the 4,000-seat capacity International Conference Center site. The governor paid a visit to the Maiduguri Maximum Correctional Service facilitated the release of 66 inmates and donated cash, livestock and food items to 1,280 inmates. Governor Zulum disclosed that his government will continue to prioritize health, assuring that he will initiate projects that will improve the lives of the people.
This morning, we are here in the Nigerian Correctional Service, here, particularly here in the Maximum Detention Center, in commemoration of the Democracy Day. The controller of the correctional center has said it all, that Borno State has supported the officers and men of this command, but most importantly have extended the support of food and non-food items to the benefits of the inmates here. Today, I'm here to fulfill one of the powers that conferred on me by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Inshallah, a recommendation has been forwarded to me for the grant of state pardon by the center. However, a recommendation has been forwarded to me by the Borno State Advisory Council on the prerogative of mercy at this meeting held on 13, 27, 29, and 30th of May 2025. Out of the total number that has been submitted, inshallah, this morning, we shall grant state pardon and partial pardon in view of this very important day, 12 June Democracy Day, to 66 convicts. These recommendations are forwarded to me by the Committee on Prerogative of Mercy. And inshallah, this is the very beginning. We shall continue in this direction. Government of Borno State will continue to support the inmates. And I want to assure you that the construction of the mosque shall be completed in the next 6 months. While the Commissioner for Education will interface with the controller of the correctional center with a view to strengthening the existing vocational training center in this prison, in this correctional center. Anybody who is willing to learn, yes, here will be given the opportunity to learn. We shall do the following. 1, provision of intensive literacy, provision of intensive numeracy, both in English and Arabic, provision of digital literacy, vocational training. All these things shall be supported by the government of Borno State. I want to appeal to the inmates to remain calm and law-abiding. What has happened to you is something that has to be reflected. You are here because of one very fundamental reason: for you to serve your term and for you to reflect on the reasons why you are convicted. And we believe within the period of your stay, God will give you the wisdom to repent
and not to commit such act again. We're mothers like you, so we are here to see you. And I want to assure you that Governor of Borno State will continue to provide you with food and non-food items. Again, on this day, I want to announce additional donation of 300 bags of rice to this center. 50 jerrycans of oil and additional 5 cows again. On this note, I want to officially sign the order here today. The convict's name in the schedule here to having been duly convicted for various offenses created by the laws of the state in respect of which they are now serving their respective sentences. The said convicts are now serving their respective terms of imprisonment in Borno State. The Borno State Advisory Council on Prerogative of Mercy, after reviewing the cases of the said convicts, has advised me to grant all the convicts state pardon and partial pardon for the remaining of their unserved prison terms. We have quite a number of you that were sentenced to life in prison, isn't it? But we have committed their period to life in prison and then sentenced to life in prison, and some we have reduced the numbers of years that they will spend. Now the exercise of the powers conferred on me in that behalf of the Section 212 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended and acting in accordance with the advice of the Advisory Council, I, Professor Zulum, particularly described in the schedules hereunto as Part A, B, and C of the Advisory Council recommendation for state pardon and partial pardon. In respect of the Part C, the applicant has already served his prison terms, but recommended for a state pardon to enable him continue with his normal life. And for so doing, this shall be your warrant, given under my hand and the public seal of Borno State of Nigeria at Maiduguri, dated today, 12th day of June, 2025.
And that brings us to the end of today's edition of Rising Borno. I am Dorcas Yakubuzala. See you again next time.